event this Saturday, scheduled for 12 rounds. It will be for the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome the challenger. From South Auckland, New Zealand, he has a professional record of 35 wins, 3 defeats, 23 of those 35 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Lupe Soliai La'auli'ale Maliatoa, a.k.a. Joseph Parker.
Well, here comes Joseph Parker. I'm just going to call him Joseph Parker. Fair play, Thomas Treiber, for committing to the full kind of tribal name. But here he is, and he looks calm. He looks cool. He's on a streak of 5 wins in a row. And if he makes it 6 on Saturday night, he will walk away as a 2-time world heavyweight champion.
It comes out to this song quite a bit. Roy Jones Can't Be Touched. I absolutely love it. And Andy Lee on his shoulder there. And they're such a tight team now. They've been working together for a while. But we've seen him grow during Riyadh season. He demolished Simon Keane. Then he defused the bronze bomber in Deontay Wilder. And then did the same thing to Zhilei Zhang. Again, people are talking about him being an underdog. But he's a very experienced fighter. He's a clever fighter. And he's in this second phase of his career where he's totally comfortable in his own skin and with how he wants to go about things. He feels he's bigger, stronger, better, badder than he's ever been. And it's hard to argue with that. And he's enjoying it, isn't he? He's loving it.
Absolutely loving it up there, Joe Parker. He is an entertainer. Just go and follow his social media. Go and look at his call-out videos, especially the one of Dillian Whyte. He did a bit of Take That. An unbelievable entertainer. Let's hear from him.
Joe, you certainly got some good energy coming into this fight. How are you feeling going into it?
As you can see, I'm happy, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
You know, you've had a real turnaround over the last couple of years since that loss to Joe Joyce. What are the biggest differences in you since that defeat?
Listening to Andy, listening to George, and applying what I've been learning in camp and in training in the ring. And it's pretty simple. Go out there, believe in yourself. I have confidence, and I'm going to prove to everyone that you can always come back from a loss.
You've been a world champion before. What would it mean to you to be a 2-time heavyweight champion?
It'll be so special. I think champion of the world, Frank will be there, Spencer will be there, we'll all be there celebrating.
You're fighting a guy that has a lot of momentum too, in Daniel Dubois. What do you have to do to win this fight?
I have to be me. I have to focus on me, go out there, execute this game plan that Andy Lee has put in place, and become champion of the world.
Good luck, Joe.
Thank you very much.
And now let's welcome the defending champion from Greenwich, London, England. His professional record consists of 22 wins, just 1 defeat. 21 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the hard-hitting, reigning, and defending IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Well, here comes Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois, who alongside Alexander Usyk really is the form heavyweight in the world today. He is on one amazing run. Since that loss to Usyk, he took on Big Baby Miller, who was unbeaten. He took him out. He took on Hrgović, who was unbeaten. He took him out. He took on Anthony Joshua at Wembley Stadium, and he took him out.
You know what, this young man, you see him growing in front of our very own eyes. Joseph Parker said the right thing. He's got to do what he does. He's got to box his fight. If he boxes this young man's fight, it's the worst thing he can do. He's walking in with a bounce, walking in with unbelievable confidence. Look at the size of him. He's just a fighting machine. That's who he is. You've got to stop this man in his path, but you've got to use your own style to do it.
Well, it's going to take an awful lot to stop Daniel Dubois right now, coming off that brilliant win at Wembley Stadium. Really, that could be the top of anyone's career. 96,000 people against AJ, and he was a man possessed, a man on a mission that night. if he is on a similar mission on Saturday, he'll regain his bite.
Daniel, Joe had a lot of confidence as he took to the stage right here. What's your confidence level right now coming into this fight?
You know, I'm flying. I feel really confident, ready to go now, ready to... Talking's done. Let's go to work.
You've been on a roll as of late, from the Jarrell Miller win all the way up to the win over AJ that secured you that heavyweight title. What are the biggest differences in you over these last few fights?
I don't know, man. It's just the support behind me, my dad, my team, Frank Warren and all of that, just supporting me and having an ambition and goals, and we haven't stopped. We haven't given up, and we're here now.
Joe's been on a roll of late, too. He's picked up some big wins over the last couple of years. What kind of fight are you expecting from him?
I'm expecting just war. I'm ready to fight. Whatever happens, I'm ready to go through him and, put him to sleep. Go for the next one. I'm hungry.
You got a lot of knockouts over a lot of good guys over the last year or so. You think you can knock Joseph Parker out?
I'm not making no predictions, but I'm ready to fight.
Good luck, Daniel.
Thank you.
Main event is a rematch scheduled for 12 rounds, and it'll be for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. Let's first welcome the challenger. His professional record, 23 wins, just 1 defeat, 12 wins, coming by way of knockout. He is the former unified light heavyweight champion of the world, Dimitri Bivol.
Well, this will be the first time since 2017 that Dimitri Bivol goes into a fight and he isn't a world champion. This is a new experience. The first time he goes into a fight having suffered a defeat. What will we see from this version of Dimitri Bivol?
I asked him today, actually, is it different training for a fight off the back of a defeat? And he basically just said no. He just said no, it's not a nice feeling. He didn't enjoy it, but he understands that it happens. But for him, the mindset, the focus, the discipline, the professionalism, the motivation is always exactly where it's been previously. I don't quite believe that. I think there will be more, because he wants to get revenge. He admits that he wants to get revenge, and he wants the title of undisputed. He was very, very close in the first fight. It was a razor-thin decision. Razor-thin.
Well, it was certainly close the first time. He was also the first man to extend Artur Beterbiev the distance. Let's hear from the challenger, Dimitri Bivol.
Well, Dimitri, we're back here in Saudi Arabia. The first fight was very tough between you two guys. How many times did you watch that fight back?
Around 3-4 times.
What did you see when you watched it?
I saw good moments and bad moments.
It was incredibly competitive between you two guys. What do you have to do differently this time to get a win?
I just need to be better in all positions. I need to be faster. I need to be harder, smarter, everything better.
What did you learn from going 12 rounds with Artur Beterbiev the first time?
Not too much learned, but I learned about myself that I don't like to lose, and I need to push myself harder.
What does that look like? What does pushing yourself harder look like on Saturday?
It means more punches and more endurance.
Good luck, Dimitri.
Yeah, thank you.
And now let's welcome the defending champion. He is a 2-time Olympian, now undefeated as a professional with 21 wins. 20 of those 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the hard-hitting Ring Magazine champion and the reigning and defending undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Artur Beterbiev.
Well, here is the undefeated, undisputed world light heavyweight champion who says that he's not a good boxer. I think he's pretty good, Johnny. What do you think?
I think the devil's in the detail. That's what he says, but he is a very good fighter. And he'll draw the fighter out in you. He'll take you away from your game plan. That's what he's very good at doing. And you try and match him, you won't match him. He'll get the better of you. And Bivol has just said, you know what, I didn't learn anything about him. I learned a lot about myself, how I failed myself, what I should have done, when I should have tried harder. You know, Bivol's a world-class fighter. That was number 2 in the world officially right now. Now you're looking at number 1 in the world. This guy knows what he's about. He knows what he's capable of doing. And he's a great thinking fighter.
Well, he's been a world champion since 2017, won that IBF belt, and then went belt collecting. Picked up the WBC from Alexander Gvozdyk, picked up the WBO from Joe Smith Jr., and in October last year took on the WBA champ Dmitry Bivol, and after 12 hard-fought, close rounds, picked up his belt too. He's got them all. Look at that picture behind him. What a fighter, Andy.
He's scary, isn't he? When you look at him there in the hood, he's got an intensity about him. You just look into those eyes and you do not see anything, do you really? Nothing at all, and it's terrifying.
Just 133 days between these two fights. How do you feel going into this rematch?
Not bad. Not bad.
What did you learn from the first fight against Dmitry?
You know, we learned some different things, like, you know, what we need to prove, what we need to correct, like, you know. We did some stuff about these things. We'll see.
You know, after the first fight, your trainer, Mark Ramsey, said, great job, but you can be better. You said you can be better. In what ways can you be better in this rematch?
There is many things, aspects I can prove myself, I think so. We'll see.
Are you expecting him to fight differently this time?
Yeah, I think they have some different strategy or something, yeah.
You just turned 40 years old, but you seem to get better as you get a little bit older. How do you explain that?
I think it's because it's experience, and, you know, to be in good shape a long time, I think it's helping for your body too.
Good luck, Artur.
Thank you.
We will first welcome, coming to us from Bochum, Germany. He brings an undefeated record with 25 wins, 17 of those 25 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the undefeated former 2-time EBU European champion and the #1 ranked contender by the WBC. Here is Agit Kabayel.
Well, here comes one of the real success stories of Riyadh season. Agit Kabayel has had a couple of real breakout fights here against monsters. He took on Makhmudov, the man who twitches whenever he gets hit, and he took him out with body shots. He took on Frank Sanchez, unbeaten, and he took him out with body shots. There is a feeling that he will approach Zhilei Zhang, another monster, on Saturday with some big body shots.
He's a really good story, Agit, as well, because he was drifting. His career was absolutely drifting. He won the European title in 2017, beating Derek Chisora, and then just couldn't get the fights he wanted. Won it again in 2023, and he would have been wondering if he was ever going to get his chance. So I asked him yesterday, were the times where he felt like quitting? Because boxing had kind of disappeared in Germany at that point as a major TV force. It just wasn't the sport in the mainstream public that it had been in years gone by, and he said no, of course not, but I bet there were days where he just thought, look, this isn't going to happen, I'm going to have to go and do something else.
Well, he's a super humble guy. I'm not expecting any trash talk. Let's hear from him.
Well, Agit, we have not seen you back here since you beat Frank Sanchez last May. How does it feel to be back in Riyadh and back in the ring?
Yeah, I'm happy that I'm here, you know. I'm ready for the next challenge. Let's go.
Your next challenge is a pretty big one. Zhilei Zhang, a big man, a southpaw, a big punch. What do you have to do to beat him?
Yeah, we'll see on Saturday, you know. We have a good game plan for him. On Saturday we'll see. And, yeah, let's go.
You've been the underdog or close to the underdog in your last couple of fights. Probably the underdog again coming to this one. Do you like being the underdog?
Yes, of course, I like it. We see on Saturday the underdog shocks the world again.
interim title on the line for this fight, but does that mean something to you?
It's a small title, small world title, but after the small white title, maybe come the big world title.
Good luck, Agi.
Thank you.
And now let's welcome, fighting out of Bloomfield, New Jersey, USA, by way of Shenzhou, China, a 2008 Olympic silver medalist, now has a professional record consisting of 27 wins, 2 defeats, 1 draw, 22 of those 27 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBO interim world champion and the #2 ranked contender by the WBC. Here is Zhilei Big Bang Zhang.
Well, here comes Big Bang Zhilei Zhang, one of the heaviest-handed heavyweights out there right now. 41 years old, but he doesn't seem to be slowing down. Still does everything he could do 10 years ago. And he was asked, give us 3 reasons why you beat Agit Kabayel on Saturday night. His 3 words: bang, bang, bang.
Totally agree. That southpaw style. When you see these two stood next to each other, it'd be like man and boy, size-wise. And this man will take his time, work at his pace. And slowly but surely, the hare and tortoise, they catch up to each other. And that's what it's going to matter. He'll catch up to him eventually. That's the style. He's on a roll. Should work.
He's a clever fighter as well. He's got underrated IQ, former Olympic medalist as well, Andy.
Exactly. They don't give those away on street corners. He's a very accomplished fighter. Stylistically, he might find this tough though, because he's always punching down, or almost always, but he's going to be punching quite a long way down against Kabayel, who's really good at getting onto the inside and punching in combination. So I expect this to be a bit of an odd couple in terms of a matchup, but I think it will gel well.
Well, let's hear from the Big Bang.
Well, Zhilei, first, is that your own personal theme song?
这是你自己的主题歌吗？
Yeah. I bang you.
I got that one. Last time you were here, you scored a knockout win over Deontay Wilder. How big was that win for you?
上次 KO 维尔德对你来说意义重大吗？
意义重大，代表着我又重新回归。从3月份输给帕克之后，然后6月份又击倒威尔德， Big Bang 又回来了。
It means a lot. After the Joseph Parker loss, it means that I'm coming back. Big Bang is here.
You got a very different opponent in front of you on Saturday. Kabayel, more of a mover than a puncher. What do you have to do to beat him?
卡巴耶尔可不一样了，跟维尔德，他是移动型的、灵活型的。你需要做什么准备呢？
不需要做什么，不需要做什么。他用什么战术，我用什么战术克制他。
Whatever he brings to the table, I have an answer for him.
At 41 years old, you still feel like you have a lot left in the tank?
41岁了，感觉还能打多久呢
？I don't know. 直到我打不动为止。现在我很年轻，状态一切都非常好。
I don't know how far I can go, but as of right now, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very young.
Good luck, Zhilei.
Thank you.
Bang you. Bang. Bang. No, I'm a money man. Bang. Contact to me, man. Bang. So when I read big man, talk bang.
Our next 2 fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest, and it will be for the WBO Interim Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. We will first welcome the challenger from Liverpool, England. He has a professional record consisting of 30 wins, 2 defeats, 22 of those 30 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former Ring Magazine champion and former WBA super middleweight champion of the world, Callum Mundo Smith.
Well, his resume speaks for itself. His credentials speak for themselves. He's a former Ring Magazine World Super Middleweight Champion. Won that Muhammad Ali trophy as well. Ventured up to light heavyweight. And only 2 men have ever defeated him in his career. Canelo Alvarez at super middle and Artur Beterbiev at light heavyweight. He is an elite fighter and he is dreaming of becoming a 2-weight world champion.
Now you hear that announcement, this is what I'm talking about. You listen to those credentials and you've got to understand how big a deal this fight is. This guy is world class. This guy is world talent. So that means we're saying he beats 98% of the fighters in the world thus far. So now this shows you the gravitas of this fight with him and Joshua Buatsi.
Oh, absolutely that. It's one that's really got fight fans talking. WBO interim light heavyweight championship on the line. The winner joins that queue for Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. It's an elite fight at the very top of the light heavyweight division. Chris Mannix is making his way over. Let's get a word from Mundo.
Well, Callum, you shook the rust off in that last fight, right back into a big one this Saturday. How are you feeling about this fight?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's a fight I like. It's a big opportunity for myself to put myself closer to where I want to be, and that's a 2-weight world champion.
Came up short against Artur Beterbiev last year, but what did you learn from an experience like that?
I think you just learn from all your fights, and I think losing kind of magnifies areas where you need to improve that a little bit more. And I come away from it, assessed it, looked at reasons why I came up short, and I feel I've improved in certain areas, and I'm a better fighter because of it.
A very respectful promotion so far between you and Josh Buatsi. But what is this fight going to look like on Saturday?
I think it'll be a good fight. I think stylistically we should gel pretty well. It's not personal. I've got a job to do. He's got something I want. He's got an interim world title that puts me closer to where I want to be. So say I'll go in there this weekend, do the job, and I believe I'll come out on top.
Do you like these domestic fights a little bit better, give it a little extra juice?
Yeah, they're good. It obviously gets the public's imagination that little bit more with it, both being from the same country. But regardless of who it is, it's not the opponent. It's what he's got and where I want to be. So yeah, it's a big opportunity for myself.
Appreciate it, Cal. Good luck.
Thank you.
And now let's welcome the defending champion from London, England, a 2016 Olympic bronze medalist, now undefeated as a professional with 19 wins. 13 of those 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBO interim light heavyweight champion of the world, Joshua Buatsi.
Well, here comes the unbeaten Joshua Buatsi. He is the defending WBO interim light heavyweight champion. He was asked to bring that belt to the launch press conference. He said, "Why do I want to bring the interim belt when the real ones will be behind me?" Didn't want to bring that belt, wants to win the big one.
Wants to win the big one, and he knows he's a fighter that's got something to prove. He's a fighter that there's been so much shouted from the rooftops about his potential and the fighter he should be. The fighter he should be at this point in his career. So this now is his opportunity to prove, look, I'm proving to you I belong up there. I belong to be a world champion. I'm going to fulfill all the wishes that everybody thought I could do. And this is that fight. He's got to show us something. Callum's already shown us what he's about.
Well, he's been involved in what feels like eliminator after eliminator after eliminator, but a big win on Saturday night as he looks behind him, as he sees his name up in lights. A win on Saturday night takes him closer to becoming a full world champion. Let's hear from Joshua Buatsi with Chris Mannix.
Well, Josh, you've been looking for a big fight for a long time. This feels like a pretty big one. How are you feeling going into Saturday?
Feeling good, man. Happy to be fighting in Saudi Arabia, and a lot's on the line, so I'm looking forward to it.
You've been coming up the ranks with Callum over the years. Did it ever occur to you over that time that, hey, this might be a guy that I'll fight someday?
Only when the contract was signed, yeah.
What do you think this fight's going to look like?
One that I win. However it looks, I'll come on top.
I was asking Callum, you guys have been very respectful of each other over the course of the last couple of months, but what is the fight going to look like in the ring? How good stylistically do you think this fight is?
Yeah, it's a style that should gel. Whatever style I have to provide to win, that's what I'm going to do.
You think this puts you one step closer to that full world title?
It definitely should, 100%.
Good luck, Josh.
Thank you.